Hey Resetters, Janine back here with you for yet another video, and we're going to wrap this up with part 3. Part 3 is going to talk about those millennial money myths and those Gen Z money myths, and what are our millennial and our Gen Z folks, what are you all out there hearing, right? And there's really some validity to it. So part 1, we talked about our baby boomers, right? Part 2, we talked about our Gen X money myths. Now we're going to get into the millennial money myths, right? There's a couple out there. One is side hustles are the only way to get ahead. Well, there's always been side hustles, y'all. Now, they may not have been legal for, some of the other generations, but there has always been side hustles. Now, let me tell you, extra income helps. Side hustles are an amazing way for you to bring in extra income. Now, nowadays, and the side hustles I'm talking about, particularly for our millennial, folks out there and others as well, if you're open to it, might be your Instacarts, your Ships, your DoorDashes, your Grubhubs, your, delivering. And it's that now, right? Everything you can do right from privacy of your own cell phone and be able to give yourself some side hustle money. While side hustles are a great way to add extra income, it can have its downfalls, right? It is a great way to add a little extra income to your home if you've got a gap between what your actual 9-to-5 job pays you and what needs to happen in your household, but it is steady grinding. Now imagine keeping that side hustle going on for months and months and years. That can be very toiling on your body, on your mind, on your wellness, on your rest, because you are working consistently. You're working 8 hours and then you're working some more. Now, I have definitely worked in that mode, but for a very short amount of time. We used to have a saying, you can go to sleep when you're dead. Like when we had a goal or what have you in our side hustles, but that is not sustainable for the long term. So while there can be money that can be made, those side hustles can become very saturated, which minimizes the opportunity. I don't know. Okay, thumbs up on the saturated, I guess. But that minimizes the opportunity for your pay because, if there's a lot of people that are out there and they're available to do deliveries or do whatever, it minimizes how much might be out there for you to actually grab a hold to and what opportunities might come your way. So think about that. But side hustles, I would say, are definitely not sustainable for the long haul if you truly are trying to just keep this thing the side hustle. All right. The second one, student loans are good debt. So at Reset Budgeting and Financial Coaching, I have a lot of philosophies, I would say, in regards to money and use and what have you. Definitely many of them rooted in the word, and some are just like from experience and using wisdom, right, to line up what makes sense and what doesn't. One of my philosophies is that there is no good debt and there is no bad debt. Debt is just debt. Now, if it makes you feel better, like because you took a loan out for your schooling and your schooling should actually return an investment to you, if that makes you feel better to think of that as good debt, then great, right? Versus you went out, got a loan and just wasted your money on something that was frivolous or wasn't going to accrue any value or what have you, right? Maybe someone might call that bad debt. At the end of the day, if you do not pay that good debt, monthly payment, or don't pay that off, just like if you don't pay the bad debt payment, it all will come to bite you. So that's why I say there really is no good debt and bad debt. The goal is that whenever you're going into debt, it is for a justified and wise reason and wise decision, that you're not going into debt for some frivolous stuff and you're not going to debt for something that makes sense. It's all debt. And the most important thing is for you to pay it off as soon as possible so you are not indebted to anyone, whether it was for a good reason or not. All right, so I'm busting that myth, y'all, especially nowadays when, there are avenues that you can make really, really great money without, going to college. Now, I absolutely advocate for college. Let me be clear. I'm not telling people don't go to college, but I am telling folks to really be clear on the reason that you want to go to college. Can you withstand the 4-year track? And can you see your investment all the way through? Please don't invest and go to college and drop out after the second year or what have you, because that money is still due if you are paying loans or whatever the case may be. The last one for our millennials, skipping lattes will make you rich. It will absolutely recoup some money in your budget. Now, unless you're drinking 3 lattes from Starbucks every day, You definitely will. It will not make you rich, but you will definitely see that money come back into your account if you stop spending it in that way. But no, it will not make you rich. When we tell you all as financial influencers, as folks that work with money, when you hear us say, like, cut back on your Starbucks and what have you, we're talking about really looking at those small pennies, those $5 and $6 and $7. And if you're doing something every day, look, I'm gonna bring my calculator out. We're not talking rich, but we absolutely are talking significant. So let's say I'm gonna just be generous, because I did go and get something from Starbucks, and I think my drink was like $8, but I had some credits, so it was okay. So let's say you are buying your favorite drink, right? Might be a grande, might be a venti. You're buying your favorite drink, crafted at Starbucks, for $8, and you are doing that every day for 5 days. Say you're going into work or what have you. So that is $40 a week that you are paying literally on just something to drink. Let's say you do that for the whole month. Well, you have a 4-week month. So $40 times 4. So that's $160 that you are just paying on a beverage. Not lunch, not a meal, literally just a beverage that you truly could actually make it home for much cheaper. So what could you do with an extra $160 in your budget? Could that go to paying off a debt? Could that go to blessing somebody? Could that go to just anything, right? Other than a drink every day? You can even cut that in half. What could you do with an extra $80 back in your budget? Would that give you a little bit of breathing room? Could you put that in your miscellaneous? Could you put that away for something you really want to do? Little things add up, okay? All right, lastly, this one's going to be a little bit of a longer one because we're going to touch on our millennials and our Gen Z. Here's the Gen Z money myths, y'all. Crypto is the fastest way to get rich. It says, while some have made money, crypto is highly volatile and not a guaranteed path to wealth. Now, let me be real. Crypto has definitely made some folks some money. I am living proof. I've seen it. Crypto has done well for folks, but crypto is volatile. And so you could be riding high on crypto today, and then you go look at your account tomorrow and it's dropped 70%, right? I mean, it's not as steady as some of the investments that have been tried and true and been around for a while. But crypto it could be an avenue of investment. Once again, be clear, you are okay with whatever you're putting in there. You are okay with possibly not recouping that money, but it can make you a little bit. It is a new avenue of investment. I say don't be afraid. Learn, study, get some information, talk to some people who are already investing in crypto like I do, but you're not going to get rich. I doubt you're going to get rich these days anyway. And make sure you save your key, the code, your password, or whatever. You're the only one that has it. Nobody can retrieve it. And if you got a good gob of money in there, it's just lost. So that's another danger in itself. But don't be afraid of it, but be very, very, very wise about it. Gen Zs are also hearing social media influencers are rich. There are definitely influencers, the more known ones, the ones that have been in the game for a long time, who are definitely making good money. But once again, they've been at this for a pretty long time. If you are seeing them and they've got all these amazing followers, it took them time to build that. Now, Mr. Beast is an anomaly. He is an anomaly. There's nobody out there that's really competing with Mr. Beast, and he's doing a lot. But there are a lot of influencers that struggle financially because they're trying to build. Once again, the internet, these social media streets can be saturated, and so you got to have a message, and you got to play the long game. You've got to play with the algorithm. That is not the way that you should bank all of your goals financially. Absolutely chase your dreams, but you should have something steady, right? As a 9-to-5, if you are choosing to go that route. The best way is diversifying your money. And I do know a lot of influencers do that. True financial success means that you have money in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different places. Your money is not just making money in one way. That is how you start to build wealth. All right, last one. Cash is dead. Use credit for everything. I know where this is coming from because we've got the Cash Apps and the PayPals and the Zells and the Lordy. We got so much stuff. Even if you want it now and you don't want to wait for it, you got the Afterpays and the Klarnas and there's another one. I can't even think of all of them. You have a lot of digital avenues in which to spend money. And you have digital avenues in which to receive it as well. And while digital payments are convenient, having liquid savings, liquid meaning money you can go in the bank, pull out, an emergency fund you can get your hands on and pull out, that is the most valuable because that money belongs to you. It is not filtered through anything. You have saved it, you have earned it, you have tucked it away, and it should be making some compound interest for you. So please don't get sucked into cash is dead. I don't think cash is going to ever die, okay? Cash is still king. You can still buy a ton of stuff with that US dollar in a lot of countries still right now. You can still pull out cash and people will take your cash. You can go to gas stations and you'll notice there's a cash price and then there's a credit card price. Some have nerve to even be like cash and then credit card, debit card, and they still charge you extra. Cash is still very, very strong in our country. And if you saw my video about cash-based budgeting, then you know that cash is a great way for you to actually regulate yourself. If you are learning self-control with your money, if you are learning how to budget and be wise and be effective and not overspend, cash can be a great way, a great teacher for you to be able to do that should you decide to adopt the cash-based budgeting method, even for a little while. All right. Swiping will get you in trouble. It will bring in overdraft charges if you are not balancing. Your checkbook is kind of old school, but if you are not maintaining that balance and you're not checking to make sure what's coming in and what's going out, there's enough money and all of that, then you're going to find yourself with even more debt, because the banks are going to charge you for even, number one, covering your bill. That would be your benefit, but they charge you even if they don't cover it. All right. So cash ain't dead. Cash is still king. And please use that cash to create an emergency fund for yourself, something like a household little savings, something that you can always get your hands on. Okay. That is the best way. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being engaged. If you watched this video all the way to the end, thank you for giving me a little bit more time to cover our Gen Zs and our millennials. And once again, what myths have you heard? If there's something that I haven't mentioned, I would love for you to share. So please drop it in the comments, right? Or even if you agree or you disagree, put an agree in the comments or a disagree and tell me which one you disagree with. I'd love to have that kind of conversation with you in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I am really enjoying this, actually. I love to teach and I love to share. And I hope whatever it is that I'm sharing with you, if an iota of it helps you save some money, then I've done my job. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for checking in part 1, part 2, and part 3.